First, here on NBC News this morning, exclusive new details on a plan that would do something a lot of folks have been calling for years: legalize marijuana on the federal level. All of that ahead of Senate Democrats introducing this piece of legislation later today. You've got 36 states and Washington, here in the District of Columbia, legalizing cannabis in some form, but using it, possessing it, selling it, all of it still against federal law. NBC's Gabe Gutierrez spoke exclusively with some of those bill sponsors as part of our series Red, White, and Green here on MSNBC. Gabe, nice to see you in D.C. with this exclusive sit-down. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Hallie. Well, as you know, New Yorkers this year voted to legalize recreational pot sales, but the regulatory framework for that is still being worked out. But Hallie, now top Senate Democrats are hoping to capitalize on this green rush.
For years now, state after state after state has given the green light to the cannabis industry. But now, perhaps the biggest pot push yet.
There is an urgency to this because there are people all over our country seeing their lives destroyed, they're hurt.
Today, Senate Democrats are rolling out a draft of their plan to try to legalize marijuana at the federal level. First obtained exclusively by NBC News, it calls for removing cannabis from the Controlled Substances Act, expunging federal records of nonviolent cannabis offenders, and setting up regulations to tax pot products.
So, do you have the votes?
Well, we're working on it.
Working on weed are Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, and Oregon Senator Ron Wyden, the chair of the Finance Committee.
We legalized in adult use in 2014. And oh my goodness, the skeptics said that Western civilization was going to pretty much end. What we have seen in terms of the actual facts is we've generated more than 6 times the predicted revenue.
Is this one of the top priorities for Democrats?
It's one of the high priorities. We have a lot of priorities, obviously.
But at the same time, you haven't been able to get infrastructure done yet. Why bring this up now?
We got to move forward on a whole lot of things.
Critics say the marijuana industry has been growing too fast and is marketing high-potency pot to kids.
I think we can expunge records. We can, not prosecute low-level use, not give someone a criminal record, but we don't have to go to the other extreme of, pot gummy bears and 99% THC dabs.
Supporters of federal legalization argue communities of color are still disproportionately incarcerated for a drug already legal in many states. 18 states plus D.C. allow recreational pot use. 37 plus D.C. allow medical marijuana.
The war on drugs has not worked.
Stephanie Shepard spent 9 years in prison for a nonviolent marijuana-related charge. Even now, job and rental applications are brutal. This legislation would change that.
What has a drug conviction done to your life?
Changed it completely. My life will never be the same.
What's also changed dramatically is Americans' views on weed. Back in 1969, only 12% backed marijuana legalization. Now, 68% do.
More and more people across the political spectrum want it. And so it's going to roll. It's going to roll.
Hallie, as you know, Democrats would need 10 Republican votes to break a filibuster, and some in their own party haven't even signed on yet. So, Hallie, it'll be a while likely before the smoke clears.
Oh, you did it.
I did.
You had to do it.
I'm sorry. I did.
I'm sorry for all of us, actually. Gabe Gutierrez, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Later this week, right here on this show, you're going to see our own special reporting as part of our Red, White, and Green Week. Check it out. This is a look inside our road trip to Hawaii to a medical marijuana farm run by veterans. Those who served have some of the highest rates of PTSD in addition to physical injuries from deployments. But, they cannot get medical marijuana from the VA because of those federal laws Gabe was just talking about. So some in Washington are hoping to change that. You're going to hear from one of the senators behind that push and from an Air Force vet and 9/11 first responder who says this is a miracle plant everyone should have access to.